Hi, my name's Johnny, and today we're finally starting to take a look at the Line 6 HX Stomp. So why did I buy the HX Stomp? I wasn't bored, I swear. I wanted to eliminate the need for a head. So my good friend and guitarist in my band, Nova Mora, Dave, has been using a Line 6 Pod HD, I think it is, for a couple of years now, and has switched from a massive power amp that he's carrying around to just an MXR power amp pedal. And I love that. I love that it's just a pedal, one knob with the volume on, and that's all you need, just a pedal board and you're good to go. So I bought the HX Stomp and hoping to do that and have it kind of an all-in-one unit. I'm also obviously a bedroom producer, just recording demos and stuff, so really wanted it for the guitar tones as well. Now I realised that the HX Stomp has so many features, and actually for the price tag, it is really good value for money. So I've been putting off making this video because it's been making me kind of anxious that I'm not going to get it right and that I'm not going to be able to show everything in one video. And that's what maybe come to that realization, that I'm not going to show everything in one video. So what we're going to do is a series of videos showing different things that the HX Stomp can do and what it can be used for. So make sure you stick around for all of the upcoming videos on the HX Stomp. There are so many uses of this tiny but powerful little unit. So in today's video, I thought we could start things off really simple by just looking at HX Edit, which is the program you get, and how to create a patch. We are taking a look now into HX Edit, which is the bit of software from the Line 6 website once you've got the HX Stomp. So the way to look at this is just like a signal chain, just like a pedal board or anything like that. You've got your guitar in here, and you've got 6 slots along here before you get to the main out, left and right. They are planning on adding 2 more slots. I think I've used up the maximum and then been okay, but certainly I'm not a big effects guy, so I don't use loads of effects, but I just like that core tone, so getting that out of this 6 is plenty for me for now. Let's start with an amp and cab. You can see here we've got loads of guitar amps. Let's bung in a Marshall for fun, shall we? That's pretty fun. Oh, I should just say the DI tone sounds like this. So it's already pretty nice through the Squire Classic Vibe P-Bass. So let's add in our amp, shall we? So at the top here, we can change it over to bass. And we've got all different ones here. We've got Gallien-Kruger, we've got a Sun amp, I think the Del Sol is, and then 4 different amp eggs and Aguilar, all sorts. So kind of standard, lots of SVTs. That's going to be a lot of people's favorites. The 4 Pro is one of my favorite amps, so we're going to have a look, see what this sounds like. So I will say the presets are bad. I have not come across a single preset that I like. You really have to go in and tweak the settings. And I'd heard that about Line 6 before, even about the Helix and stuff, that the presets aren't great. I don't know why they don't get some artists to make the presets for them or involve them more, because clearly, I don't know, they're just not great out of the box. So this is what it sounds like out of the box. So for me, I'm wearing headphones at the minute just so I can hear it a bit better. I'm going to turn that up, bring the drive down a little bit. I kind of want a distortion to go on top of my amp rather than it just be distorted all the time. I'm not going to change the mid on the bass on here for now because I'm going to have a go with the graphic EQ. I like a nice bright tone as well, so we'll leave that off for now. So already that sounds like this. I'm just kind of going through what I don't like now. Nothing I don't like are these sliders. I've been using Line 6 Pod Farm for a long time for guitar tones and effects and things like that, and Logic, and I love it. I think it sounds great. And I kind of bought this to replace that because I wanted more. Now with Pod Farm, it's very intuitive and gives you a visual look of the pedal and the actual knobs you turn up and the EQs, you know, as they would normally be laid out. It seems silly, I know it's just on its side, but I find these sliders very annoying to work with, especially with EQ. It's much harder to visualize when it's on its side, and I don't know, sometimes the effects don't make sense to be laid out this way. I wish they had kind of customized it a bit more within settings, although because there is so much, I understand why they haven't designed everything like that. That would be a mammoth task, especially with bringing out updates and more patches and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to take off a little bit of the big low end, leave that one as it is. I'm just going to kind of do an EQ shape that I think will sound good. Take it off. Kind of gives it less of a wooden sound, a bit more alive. But it's not really punching through the mix like I'd like it to. Ooh, no. See, I like finding the frequencies that I don't like and getting rid of those. I find it taking out that 900 hertz, I can hear that's already getting closer to that Ampeg sound that I like. Whereas taking out the 2 kilohertz, it's kind of taking out that brightness. Whereas if I can scoop the main mids on here, sounds okay, but it's kind of less character in there. Okay, I quite like that sound. With the cab, we're going to leave, let's take the high cut off a little bit. So this is where it gets a bit confusing for me, where I'm like, okay, lots of high cut, it's off. Not lots of high cut, it's on. So like, that doesn't really make sense to me. Whereas the low cut, that's max, that's none. So now we've got our EQ in there, I'm gonna listen to some more. So I already way prefer that 1-2-1 dynamic mic. 57, which is probably a Shure 57. I don't know much about mics. Like I said, I'm not a producer. So let me know if these are kind of doing the characteristics of what these mics would do. Can't like the 1-2-1, I think. Let's stick with that one. Okay, so that is the amp done for now. The next thing I'm going to add is a Compressor Deluxe comp. See how that sounds. Sounds so much better already. I love compression. I like compressed low end, but not so much that it's flabby and cardboardy. I don't know. So I like to have a little bit of dynamic freedom in there. So if we take the mix down to like 85, that was a really good guess. See, again, to me, that's the attack's going up, but the milliseconds is going up in that. So it's like, oh, so the attack is less time? More time? No, that makes sense, actually. That's more time. No, because when you're turning the knob up, you're wanting the attack to be higher. So surely that's when the milliseconds are... I don't know. Cool. I like that sound. If at any point in this you want to save what you're doing, you just click right here. That's snapshot mode as well is something completely different, which we're not going to go into today. So let's call this HX Stomp test. And I think the snapshot mode can allow you to assign these different presets to each switch so that you can switch from amps in just like 2 clicks as opposed to scrolling up through the settings. Completely different clean amp to a dirty amp, then you can do that. I'm pretty sure that's what it does anyway. Sounds like a real amp. You know me, I'm a Sans amp guy. Sans amp's under distortion, because I suppose that's how it can be used. Now, the bass ones, I mean, you can use any of these for bass. So with these, we've got the Sans amp down here, an Ampeg scrambler, the Obsidian, which is the dark glass, then a Clawthorne drive. I'm not sure what that one's modelled after. I feel like I've seen it before. We're going to add in the Sans amp. It's kind of taking tone away at the minute, I feel. So let's whack that presence right up. I think that's pretty faithful to what a Sans amp sounds like. So without. So I can always tell that this is going to sit better in a mix than this. In my opinion. So that is like my 3 main elements of tone done. I would be happy with that. You know, not all the amps have this graphic EQ, but this one does. So we don't really need it, but let's add in the Cali graphic, nice and simple. Let's see what if we do like a bit of a scoop and boost on here. I like that, so I'm going to boost a little bit of those lows a bit, and let's bring some of that back in. Roll the tone off the bass. What I'm going to do is save that and then mess around with this 10 band. Oh my god, so much to do. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. So by taking down that high, we've kind of got rid of a bit of that fizz, and now it sounds a lot more rounded, like a P bass. Maybe it's still a bit too harsh. I like that. Let's save that without it. Oh, I don't know. Tough one. I think I'm going to bring it down a little bit more. I'm going to put a distortion in there now, and then we've got one more slot where we could add something else. Now, in terms of signal chain, I would add it like this, and if I was adding another effect, I'd want that to go here before the amp. Now we're going to add the dark glass. Now that is not doing it for me, because if you think the tone is like this, it's not adding anything, you're kind of losing it. You still want the other one to come through, so we want the blend. The blend at 10, that's probably why. Bring it down to 5. Now, there might be cases where I really like that as it is, and I want to assign that to a pedal to stop doing that. Now, with the box itself, all you'd have to do is touch the pedal itself and then assign it. So I'm touching the mid, you can't see this, but I'm touching the middle one, hitting OK. And then as I press it, it will go on and off. Now, you can also do that on here if you don't have the pedal in front of you. I can assign it to whatever foot switch I've got there. Latching and momentary, so you can have it so that it only works when you hold it down. Now that's handy for like a pitch shift or something if you want an octave when you hold it down to go wah, but we want it latching, and that's how you assign it onto it. I often really like guitar distortions on basses, but you obviously get that issue of it losing the low end. A cool thing that you can do on the Line 6, which actually really attracted me to it, is splitting the signal. So if we go and add a distortion, let's, add a tube screamer. If you just got it in the chain, you're just going to lose the impact and the reason you're having the distortion. So all we do is click and hold, drag it underneath, and look, now we can see we're on a separate chain. And we can edit things to that chain of what it does, A and B, or split it in a Y. We want to do a split Y at the minute, so it's playing both at the same time. Now, as it stands now, it sounds a bit weird because it's essentially bypassing the amp. So if we drag it here, one that I found out that works quite nicely is the Rat. A reminder, in the chain. Oh my god, disgusting. So now to assign that, let's click here, bypassing. Assign it to foot switch 1 for this case. So now by stomping it, if I'm going, so the handy thing as well is if I wanted, say if I liked the sound of that without the EQ, but I wanted the EQ when it was clean, we can absolutely do that. If we go on to the EQ, assign it to number 1 as well, where that overdrive is. We've got that on, and we've got that off. If I now hit the pedal, you can see it's switching between the two. Up to you. If you turn that off now, then we're getting both on at the same time. So if you don't like if there's not enough low end or something, you can change that or add another EQ to make it, the low end kick in as well when you've got this guitar distortion on there. Or if you do that in the chain as well. There's the possibilities of what you could do with this thing are incredible. There is so much you can do. I'm going to put that back to the Rat because we liked that. Oh, megaphone, that'll do. So yeah, there is just really something for everyone on here. Bit crusher. We've got one more slot left, so let's have a bit of fun. Let's add in some chorus maybe. We've got a phaser and a flanger, sounds great. What does it sound like with the distortion? So I could assign that to that come on when that comes off, or that come on together, or I can assign it to a completely different pedal. Hopefully that's given you a bit of a taste of how to set one up and the different things that you can do and the different ways you can use it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like just to stick around, and so you can check out more of the HX Stomp in the future. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.